Ladies and gentlemen, I think that in 2025, we will see HDB flats transacting at 2 million Singapore dollars. And I don't think I'm kidding. So let's watch on to see my analysis why I think so. So today in the media, there is an article that says that there will be $1,000 million HDB flats in 2024. By looking at some of the data, I do think that in time to come, there will be a $2 million HDB flats. I suspect is going to be in 2025. Let's watch on. First and foremost, HProp Singapore came out with this article, record-breaking 1,000 HDB resale flats hitting $1 million in 2024. And to be frank, we haven't reached 1,000 yet, but we are hitting so close that for sure we will exceed 1,000. So for the first 11 months of the year, 931 such transactions has already been recorded, making up 3 to 4% of the total market transaction volume. That's already double last year's count of 470. So this is no longer a trivial number. I think we should stop kidding ourselves that $1 million HDB flats form only a small proportion of our total transaction because the number just grow up and up and up. Is this a good thing or bad thing for the country and for all of us? Really depends which hat you're wearing or where do you sit. But certainly this is no longer a trivial number and certainly worth our attention and certainly worth the government's attention. But let me say categorically clear that I am not publishing a video to tell the government to crash the HDB market. So first of all, I don't have that influence. Second of all, I don't personally think that once the price has gone up, is a good thing to crash the market. And I think there'll be repercussions throughout the whole. But I want to analyze what the trends and let's see what's going to go on. Let's watch on, shall we? $1 million HDB flats is very, very common already. Too common. But $1.5 million HDB flats is no longer uncommon in Singapore. In fact, I've got a whole page here that shows it, spreading between Bukit Timah, Toa Payoh, Kallang, Central Area, and Bishan, and so on. And they are all above $1.5 million, and that's a eye-popping number. And the highest goes to a $1.7 over million flat at Dawson. That's a special flat. But we are not looking at trivial numbers anymore. This is a eye-popping number. So interestingly, there are 3 HDB township that has not joined the $1 million club. Okay, there are Choa Chu Kang, Jurong West, and Sembawang. So these places don't have $1 million flat yet. And I'm really telling my children, please don't go and buy flats in this area. They are clearly laggards and not so good in demand. So when you have a chance to choose a place to buy, please buy those not just are cheap, but also have appreciation potential. There is a chart also given by HProp that is amazing that shows where are the HDB $1 million transaction and more importantly, the jump. As you can see, most of the jump happened in Ang Mo Kio, Bukit Merah, somewhat in Bishan, Geylang, Hougang, Whampoa with phenomenal, Kallang Whampoa phenomenal jump, Queenstown phenomenal jump, and Toa Payoh as well. To be frank, some of the other places, Bukit Batok, Bukit Panjang, Jurong East, Dan, this is where I stay. Marine Parade, Pasir Ris, Punggol, all meh. Okay, Yishun, so-so. But those in other areas are phenomenal jumps. And this is probably a good insight for us to decide if we have a choice to locate our flat, where will it be? There's a powerful price appreciation over the last few years, and that actually started with COVID, right? We're still, in some sense, in the receiving end of powerful stimulus from COVID, and also supply constraints that were just somewhat lifted. And that's a reason why we are seeing powerful price appreciation, despite the transaction volume being somewhat the same, right? Somewhat the same. And this is certainly a point of interest. I will say that this is likely to continue for some time. This slide is the most interesting slide that has came out. This is the estimated number of HDB flats reaching MOP by year. MOP stands for minimum occupation period, and most of the case is 5 years. So when a new development comes out, After 5 years, they are available for sale out in the resale market. And because of COVID, the number of HDB flats reaching MOP is the lowest, or is going to be the lowest next year. And that is why the supply of flats for HDB resale eligibility is probably going to be the lowest next year. And I think the demand will somewhat stays the same or even higher. And as the result, okay, we're going to see prices shooting up like never before. And this is my premise of making the assessment that I think we will see $2 million HDB resale flat. I used to think that that's insanity. I don't think right now that's insanity. I think that will be the reason why we're going to see a powerful appreciation of HDB resale flat. And this problem will not go away until 2026 and somewhat 2027. So let me say categorically clear that in my assessment, there will be a powerful upswing of HDB resale flat in 2025 unless there's a cooling measure. I don't foresee any economic downturn of any major form, but that said, it's hard to say. But I think the one that could probably chill off the whole temperature on the red hot HDB resale flat is going to be a cooling measure. But will it happen? Well, not only do I foresee HDB resale prices going up, there will be much more HDB resale flat hitting 7 digits, okay? And this is not what I say. This is Lee Zitek, Senior Director of Data Analytics at Hudson, actually said that this could be as high as 1,200 such deals in 2025. And I think that's already very modest. So I think that a HDB resale flat crossing $2 million is going to be a strong likelihood in the near future, most likely in 2025. And I think some of you will agree with me. Well, I cannot say with 100% certainty that will happen, but I think there's a strong likelihood with the amount of supply now being strangled by COVID constraints last few years. So is this bad for us or good for us? That really depends where you sit. I think if you are looking from a point of asset enhancement, certainly our asset value has gone up, and on paper, we all do very well. Some of us might be able to downgrade to a smaller flat from, for example, a big HDB to a small HDB for retirement. Then you can free up some cash and things like that. That may be good as well. Some of us, with the higher amount that you can sell for HDB flats, you can then potentially buy your dream condo or even landed property, maybe, if they don't go up as well. But I think what is more important is that our children will certainly struggle. But fortunately, there's BTO already telling my children, please don't go and buy resale flats. That's insane prices. Go and get a good HDB BTO in a good location if it's possible. Then you may have to wait for a while, but just be patient. On this topic of a cooling measure, I just want to say it categorically clear without any biasness for political parties or any policy inclination. Looking at it objectively from what has happened in the last 2 to 3 years, I don't think the government wants to risk votes in a high impact cooling measure. I don't see it happening. I believe that small tactical measures like what they've been doing for the last 1 to 2 years will continue and try to chill off some of the red hot heat. But I don't think they will do anything high risk that can put their position in jeopardy. That's my personal view. But I don't know, what do you think? This one is very subjective. I would certainly watch and see in this space whether something big will happen. So thank you for watching. And for those who have made a lot of money in your HDB resale flat, at least on paper wealth, you feel richer. That's great. Congratulations to you. For those who need to buy a HDB flat or have children that need to buy a HDB flat, my suggestion is go to the BTO. They are still affordable at this juncture. For those who have exceeded limits to buy BTO flats and so on, I understand your constraints, okay? I'm not a policy maker, but I do understand your constraints. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.